Hey everybody, welcome into Faith in Football. My name is Neil. Nope, it's just me today. No special guests except the ones I usually have, which is you watching and you that are in the comments. So down below, look, we're in August. It's draft season. This is draft month, guys. This is when everybody has their draft parties or has their draft online. And this is the month that we need the most focus, that we need the most help, so we get the foundation right. Now, today's episode, we're going to be talking committed to the process or the picture. Now, full disclosure, I am borrowing this from Pastor Robert Madu, um, who I listen to. He's from Social Dallas. And look, don't hold that against him. I don't. He's a diehard Dallas fan. I respect the fandom, and I respect even more the man of God that he is. So if you have a chance, he's on YouTube. Go find him. Social Dallas and Robert Madu. If you have an opportunity to listen to any of his sermons, very uplifting, very inspirational, and you don't want to miss it. One thing that is missing on this episode is a hat. Um, Figured I'd try out the showing the hair. So let me know how you like it down bottom. Hat, no hat, up to you guys. So most of the time it's probably going to be with a hat, just to let you guys know. But like I said, today we're talking committed to the process or the picture. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, in Pastor Madu's sermon, he was talking about how he wanted to get a certain way physically. So he hired a personal trainer. Now, at one point in time, his personal trainer got him doing an exercise that would take him to another level, which he was fine with. However, the morning after is what he really wasn't ready for. The soreness, the aches, the pains, just going through the process. And then his trainer told him, after he informed him that he didn't want to do this exercise anymore, that if he didn't want to do this exercise, then there was going to be no workout. He's like, whoa, what? See, in the beginning of the process, he showed his trainer a picture of where he wanted to be. He set goals for how he wanted to look at the end of this journey. So he was, his trainer told him that he was more committed to the picture than he was the process. Now, I looked at this a few different ways, and scripturally, this is what I found. It was Matthew chapter 16, verse 24, where Jesus he tells his disciples, if any of you want to be my follower, you must give up your own way, take up your cross, and follow me. So Jesus is showing us a picture of what it looks like to follow him, that we have to take this cross daily, not just sometime, not just a few times, not just when it's convenient, but daily, and follow him. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, how does this pertain to fantasy football? Like, I thought this was faith and football. So where's the tie-in? Well, here's the thing. Today's episode is a mock draft episode. And a lot of us, we think that, we can just show up to the draft. We know a little bit about football, or we know enough about it. We can just show up and have a good time. But here's the thing. About halfway through the season, you're wondering why your team's not doing that well. As in life, we make decisions early on that influence our adulthood. They influence things that are happening to us today are the result of actions that we made years ago when it was easier. It was more convenient. And that's what happens, is that we end up with something that we don't want. So, many years ago, I choose to and continue to choose sweets over healthy and my body is starting at my age to show my choices. Now, if I don't like it, I have to make a decision. If I don't like the way that my spiritual life is going, I have to make a decision. I have to make a choice. I have to go through the process in order to get the picture of what I want. So if I want a life closer to God, if I want a more rich, fulfilling spiritual life than just showing up in church, like I talked about in the first episode, just checking the box and showing up on Sunday for church, and then the rest of the week is mine to do with as I please, that's not going to get me where I want to be. I want to be closer to God. I want to be more involved in building the kingdom. That's why I'm here today with you guys. I'm trying my best in the ability that God has given me and the platform that He's provided to grow the kingdom, to spread the word, to fulfill the Great Commission, which was to go forth and make disciples of the world. So I'm starting in my world of fantasy football to bring my process through fantasy football to get the picture of the life that I want. So, how many times, let me ask you this, how many times have you foregone going through the process of whatever the case may be, whether it was, you didn't want to go through the process of building a stronger relationship, so the relationship you were in failed, whether that be with a loved one, with a spouse, with a child, with a coworker, whatever the case may be, you didn't want to spend the time that it's going to take to build that relationship. Same thing is true of your relationship with God. How many times do you choose Netflix over the Bible? Do you choose scrolling on TikTok or going through Facebook or Instagram or whatever other social media platform you have, rather than maybe just going a couple of apps over to your U version, pulling up your Bible app and getting closer to the one who made you, as opposed to getting closer to people who don't even know who you are. So I know sometimes it seems a little harsh, but hey, sometimes we need some harshness to snap us into the reality of the choices that we made really aren't good ones. They might have been convenient. They might have been, you know, easy at the time. They might have seemed like the right choice even. But in retrospect, looking back and doing some self-reflection, is that choice really what you need to be doing at the time you need to be doing it? Is it really going to get you what you want? Those are the questions I want you to ask and think about as we go through this mock draft process. So, down below, I'm going to leave a link, if I can, to Robert Madu and Social Dallas. Yeah, I'll tag him in the or in the description. So if you're searching for him, along with Transformation Church, Elevation Church, Stephen Furtick, and Michael Todd, as well as Charles Metcalf, who has a outstanding book out. I'm gonna plug it here. Oh, and Jesse Duplantis. I do follow Reverend Duplantis out of New Orleans, but Charles Metcalf has a new book out. God Chose Me, and if you have Audible and if you're really not into the reading of a physical book, as I am, I have Audible. It's just easier for me to process that way. But if you're like my wife and you want to go out and get the book, it is for sale on Amazon, anywhere you find books. Please go get this book. It is an outstanding read. Listen however you want to do it. But it is definitely something that will help change your perspective on yourself, on your relationship with God, and the fact that the same way that we sit there and we choose players for fantasy football, God made a specific choice when He chose you. When he created you, he has a purpose for you. And the only way to find out what that purpose is to ask him and to get close enough to him to where you can hear his voice and hear his call on your life. So go out and get Charles Metcalf's book, God Chose Me, big yellow book, black writing. You can't miss it. Absolutely outstanding read. So go check it out. And sorry, I don't have any discounts on that one. Just a full-fledged recommendation for it. What I do have discounts for them, Zero's History Grill at 235 Duce Road, off of Johnson Street in Lafayette, Louisiana. If you guys are in the area, please stop by. I know they're under construction right now, but they're doing it to benefit you guys. They're doing it to enlarge their bar area and to make better seating arrangements for you. It's a great place to go watch the game now. Well, it will be as soon as they're done with it. But go down there, check them out, and look, maybe you just want to go down there and get an appetizer. Look, I got you covered. Go down there and mention that you heard about them on Faith and Football, and you will get your free appetizer on me. So it's for free from me to you from them. Go down there, anything you want. The hummus is outstanding. We just had some here at the house. The Kung Pao cauliflower, deep fried cauliflower. I mean, hey, we're in the South. Yeah, of course you got to deep fry it, right? Then you got the Thai ribs. Thai ribs are to die for. They're one of the more popular items. Um, hey, you want shrimp? I got you covered there too. The Asian almond shrimp appetizer, you can get that too. So go down there per table, one per table. So hey, you want to share? Go down there with a buddy, family, date night, whatever the case may be. Save a little money on date night. Save a little money with your friend. Spend it somewhere else. Hey, don't forget to tithe. So that could go toward your tithe for the week. So go down there and mention that you heard about them from Faith and Football. Get your free appetizer. And if you need catering done, they got you covered there too. Give them a call, 337-406-0013. Talk to Andy or anybody who picks up the phone. They'd be more than happy to help you with your catering needs, whether it be offsite at your place or if you want the back room at the, like we're going to be on September 2nd. We're going to be down there for our draft. I'm doing my best to try to do a live just before draft gets started. Show you guys the guys I'm talking about when I say that I'm playing with guys from the League of Record. You'll know who I'm talking about. And to see the layout that we got there at Zia, all the food is going to be awesome. Make sure you go down there and check them out. 235 Duce Road off of Johnson Street, Lafayette, Louisiana. And of course, I can't forget my sweetest sponsor, Keller's Bakery, now open. Go down there and check them out at 627 Lafayette Street in Youngsville, Louisiana. Not the one downtown Lafayette, the one in Youngsville. Go down there and check them out. Tell them you heard about them from me and mention Faith in Football. You can get 2 free cookies, no purchase necessary. How cool is it just to walk in and go, hey, I heard about you guys from Faith in Football, and they give you 2 free cookies. Go down there and holler at my boy Dusty. He's got you covered. And look, you want a king cake? I love king cake. They have outstanding king cake. Whoa. It's not king cake season? No problem. They got you covered. They will cover you with king cake, not in king cake season. If you got a birthday like I've recently had and you need a cake for your party, they got you covered there too. Absolutely phenomenal cakes. I had a testimonial in the last episode with my boy Thomas. He's been at drafts since I've been doing this and been commissioner of the Thunderdome League. And we've had Dusty come every single year and bring some goodies from Keller's. So look, haven't had a bad thing yet. I doubt that I ever will. So go down there, check them out. Tell them Neil sent you, gets you 2 free cookies. And can't forget my third favorite sponsor, Ami's Groceries at 603 Jefferson Street, downtown Lafayette, inside of Gordon Square. Guys, if you're in the area and you need a little something for lunch, go down there and check him out. He's got daily specials. Can't miss it. Got a little whiteboard outside. If you want some freeze-dried treats, they got you covered there too. They're a great supporter of the local economy, local purveyors. Matter of fact, they have over 200 different items from over 50 local vendors. So make sure you check them out. Support the local environment, the local community and economic locals down there. So check them out. It's Amis Groceries, 603 Jefferson Street, inside of Gordon Square. Tell Bradley Neil says hi. So let's go ahead. Like I said, this is going to be a mock draft episode. We're talking about commitment to the process or the picture. Now, every year, you're going to go into your draft with a certain picture of what you want your team to look like when you're done. Here's what I recommend. Try to be as flexible as you can going in. Now, we're going to be going from the 4 spot. Here we go. We're going to be going from the 4 spot now. You may be asking yourself, why are we going from the 4 spot? Why not a little farther down? The reason being that I'm going from the 4 spot is this is where you have to make a decision. Now, the first pick typically is going to be Jamar Chase. Second pick, I've seen a lot of them, and normally it's Bijan or Saquon is going to be here. Number 3 is usually one of the 2 running backs that hadn't been taken, and then number 4 is Justin Jefferson. Now, here's the thing. I'm not a big Justin Jefferson fan, and I'm also obviously not a big CeeDee Lamb fan. So I'm not going to be taking CeeDee Lamb or Justin Jefferson if they fall to this spot. So this is a spot where you have to go, okay, am I going hero RB or zero RB? And you got to be flexible because you don't know what's going to fall to you. But a few of the choices have been made here. A little farther down, there's more choices that have been made, but the second round is where you really get that decision made. And we'll talk a little bit about that as we go through. And I want to remind you guys, commitment to the process or the picture. This is the process, and going through mock drafts and doing them repeatedly over and over and over again is the same as anything else in life. If you want to be good at it, you got to practice. So let's go ahead and we're going to start this draft. Here we go. So we got, that's different. So Amon-Ra St. Brown goes at the number 3. Barkley goes 101 and Chase at 102. Now, I can almost guarantee you that this is not how it's going to fall typically for your home league. If this were to fall to me, hands down, I'm taking Bijan Robinson here. Now, let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and mute this. All right. Well, we'll keep it up there. So, team 5, we got Lamb, Jefferson, Neighbors. Jahmyr Gibbs goes in the 8th. So we had quite a run right here in the middle of the top wide receivers. Then we get Ashton Genty, Puka Nacua, Derrick Henry, Nico Collins, Devon A-Chain. Now, this team right here, this could be a great steal for this team. However, this is definitely not something that I'm trying to do here. I'm not trying to have Henry and McCaffrey. These are 2 older running backs that I am not about. Okay. So I've got a absolute killer running back right now. So I'm going to go and check out my wide receivers. Nobody really went there.
Come on.
Or tell you what, guys, let's do this. All right. All right, so we're gonna stop that one. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and do a different draft here, and I need to draft. All right. All right, so we're gonna make 3 minutes um, for this draft. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's try this again. And we're gonna pause here for just a second, guys. And all right, guys, so we are back, and sorry about that. Had a little technical difficulty that we had to remedy. So let's go ahead. We're gonna start this over. There we go. So we're going to start this one over again. Draft from the 4th spot. I lengthened the time that's going to take to do picks to 3 minutes, so I can do a little more analysis for you guys. So here we go. So we're going to do now. This is a little more realistic. We have Saquon, Bijan, and Chase. So this is typically what the board is going to look like when you're being forced with these decisions. So for me, like I said, if Bijan had fallen to number 4, he's a slam. Now, me personally, I'm looking at the top wide receivers. You got Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Puka, Malik Neighbors. Those guys are great, but I personally want to walk out of this particular spot with one of the top running backs, which would, in this case, would be Jahmyr Gibbs. So I'll go ahead with Jahmyr Gibbs here. And again, we have a run on wide receivers after that. So we got CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Puka Nacua, Derrick Henry, Devon Achane, Malik Neighbors, Ashton Genty, and McCaffrey. Now I like this double tap here. You got youth and experience. This is where McCaffrey, but there's also a lot of risk here because you got the rookie who's unproven, and then you got a vet who has been dealing with a whole lot of injuries. So what do you really want to, what are you really looking for here? Then you have a very, very long wait to get your number 1 wide receiver in the 3rd round. Now that's a long time to wait, guys. So now this right here, I like this Devon Achane with Drake London. Like that one, just double tap here, wide receiver. Running back is a little deeper this year, I find. So I'm gonna look at wide receiver right here. You got Ladd McConkey, Tyreek in the 3rd, JSN, T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson. Now, I would like to have Garrett Wilson, but I think that he can fall to me. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'll go running back heavy here because I'm going to be eyeing a wide receiver. And remember, the guys, if you don't take them now, you're pushing other guys farther down. So like if I were to jump down here and let's just say take Trey McBride, that's going to push your wide receiver and your running backs even farther down and make these teams right here think about who else am I drafting. But for the purposes of this, I'm going to go ahead with Bucky Irving. Great 2nd round pick. Now, after that, Jonathan Taylor, McBride does go in the 2nd, which I've seen him go late 2nd, early 3rd, sometimes even middle of the 3rd. And then JSN and Tyreek Hill. Now, I said on the 10 players to avoid that Hill is definitely one that I'm not gonna be messing with just for the simple fact that one, well, a couple of things. One, he's getting older. Two, it is so dependent upon uh Tua's health. Now, they do have a new backup in Miami, so if you're comfortable with, if I'm not mistaken, Zach Wilson being your backup and him being reliant on Zach Wilson's ability, then by all means snag Tyreek Hill if you believe that somebody's going to go from falling off to all better because of a wrist from last year. I don't know how much I buy that, but we'll see. So now, right here, I don't have a wide receiver. Garrett Wilson did fall to me. So let's go ahead, take Garrett Wilson with in the third round. Jaden Daniels goes right after that, followed by Chase Brown. Now, I will tell you, Chase Brown would have been in the cards for me had I gone wide receiver in the second round. Now, let's go ahead and reduce this a little bit. Now, Team 7 right here, very, very heavy at running back, and Team 11 has yet to take running back. They are stacked on wide receiver. Not the strategy that I recommend going four deep wide receivers. Rashee Rice here is going to be on suspension. I'm cool with the Neighbors Collins double tap, but definitely would have come back in the second uh, or in the third, and maybe taking Kamara. Let's see who we have here. Left, we got at running back. Look, Ken Walker was still available. David Montgomery, James Conner. Now, you might not want to go that route that early, but Harrison, like, I could see. I said I was hands off of Brees Hall. Alvin Kamara, I can definitely see because my personal belief is that the offense is definitely running through Kamara in the Big Easy in New Orleans with the Saints this year. Um, so we'll see how that pans out. Right now, I'm looking at now George Kittle is off the board here in the third. His price keeps going up. So if he gets any higher, I'm going to be hands off George Kittle, even though I love being able to take him in the fourth with a lot of people. But Mario Hampton, I love this pick, but not after taking Kyron Williams and Josh Jacobs. I would definitely have taken like McLaurin. So we got a wide receiver since that's who I'm looking at now. That the tight end that I wanted was George Kittle. And we see that the big five quarterbacks are off the board right now. So, guy I'm looking at here, I see DK Metcalf there, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be my pick. DJ Moore, I'm not sold on Caleb Williams as a quarterback. Cortland Sutton, I don't know how much passing volume there's going to be here. And Devontae Smith, love Devontae Smith. However, he is the number two. I'd rather have the number one, but the number one in an Arthur Smith offense does scare me a little bit. So let's go ahead. We'll just go ahead and take DK, see how that looks to us. Now we got DJ Moore, Chuba Hubbard gone, um, Patrick Mahomes in the sixth. I personally think that's a little high. You still got Baker out there. You still got Bo Nix. Um, Now this sixth round, take a look at tight end. Right here in tight end, I really don't see anybody that stands out to me. We remember Mark Andrews struggled early in the season. Travis Kelce could have a little hurt with Rashee Rice's disciplinary hearing not being until September. So with it not being until September, he's probably going to be there for like the first month of the season. But after that, then you're going to be missing games. And will Kelsey be able to ramp up in that time? You don't know. And taking him this high is way too early. Sam Laporta, I don't know. TJ Hawkinson has a guy, a QB, and JJ McCarthy. We don't know what that's going to be anyway. Um, and oh, by the way, congrats to my boy Tim McLaurin for getting paid. Thank you, Washington, for stepping up to the mark and going ahead and getting that taken care of. So, what am I doing here? I've got my two running backs, I've got my two wide receivers. And guys, remember, this is PPR. So, Jahmyr Gibbs, highly involved in the passing game. Uh, Bucky Irving, also involved in the passing game. Garrett Wilson's going to be a PPR machine in New York simply because they really don't have anybody else to throw to, as well as DK Metcalf. Who else is on these teams? That's why I made these decisions where I did. So let's take a look at quarterback. So who do I want here? I'm really not sold that any of these guys here are going to be any better, and I would be passing on wide receiver talent. Look, Cortland Sutton is there. We still have Dave Montgomery. Let me take a look. Now, I have quite a bit of space between this pick and my next pick, and there's a guy that I really want to make sure that I have on my team, and he's just a few spots down. That would be Xavier Worthy. Now, I get that he's going to be competing with targets for uh, with Rashee Rice, but taking Rashee Rice that early, I'm not about, because he was taken back here. Getting the guy who's actually not going to miss time right here. Now, I played this game and lost. I was trying to see if Teron McMillan would have fallen to me. I missed him by one, two, three, four spots. And then Travis Hunter, just two picks before me. Those are two guys that I'm really high on. So let's see what we got going on here. Who else do we have? A couple more tight ends off the board, and TJ Hawkinson, Laporta, and Kelsey. We still have Mark Andrews. Still have Evan Ingram. And guys, like I said, once you're past the first three tight ends, it's a crapshoot. If you have a feeling on a guy, then fine, by all means. I've said it before, go get your guy. But when it comes to tight end, you can probably go ahead and be fine just streaming the position after that, and playing the matchup. So let's take a look at wide receiver. So wide receiver here. Now, you guys, you got to remember, Jordan Addison is going to be suspended for the first 3 games of the season. That being said, you really want to get him outside the double-digit rounds. Let his price fall, let him go down, and whoever takes him is going to be wasting a bench spot for the first 3 weeks of the season. So see how that works out in your own league. Check out running back, see who we got left. We got Aaron Jones, not big on Swift. I'm not about. Judkins still isn't even signed yet. But Tony Pollard's a real interesting pick at this point. My quarterback, Baker Mayfield. I'd say what, just for my boy Bryce, I'm going to make this pick. If you know Bryce, you know which pick I'm about to make. We saw Tyreek Hill go in the first pick of the third round, and here we are 3 full rounds later, and I'm able to get the number 2 in Jalen Waddle. Mayfield goes right after that. Aaron Jones, then Mark Andrews, Calvin Ridley. That was one that I was actually eyeing. So I've gone receiver, 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 receiver 4 times, last 4 rounds. Guys, it's time uh, to go back to running back, and I'm going ahead taking, since I'm missing on Calvin Ridley, I'll go ahead and take Tony Pollard. I think he's going to be heavily involved in Tennessee's success. After that, Quinton Judkins, I already spoke about him. I'm not really that sold on him. So let's see here. Now, Ricky Pearsall gone, Jalen Warren, Khalil Shakir, Travis Etienne, Debo, Stephon Diggs in the 7th round. Sorry, 8th round. Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin, Addison at the end of the 7th. I'm not there yet, guys. I'm just not. Tyrone Tracy, Scatterboo still on the board. Um, Evan Ingram was a tight end that I was looking at. So let's go ahead and take a look at tight end and see who else we got going on here. David Njoku, Tyler Warren. Now, guys, we only have 14 rounds. Normally there's like 16 rounds. Um, but we're sitting here in the 8th. Take a glance at QB real quick. Now, I'll probably wait and I'll go ahead and I'll pick up my QB in the 9th. Right now, Scatterboo, Jordan Mason. Now, this is where I've already got my starters. Tony Pollard, he's my backup. So you're taking shots on the upside. Guy who I think that you need to take a real shot on. Let's look at the overall view of where this guy has fallen. Um, I tell you what, I might even push this quarterback thing back to double-digit rounds since Bo Nix and Mayfield are gone. Um, I'm going to pull the trigger on a guy that I've recently kind of warmed up on just because, as y'all know, I listen to the ballers and their analysis I trust. I've told you guys before, you need to have more than one uh, outlet for your fantasy football knowledge and exposure. So make sure you listen to a couple of different podcasts. Mine are the Ballers and the Fantasy Pros. Um, if you guys find somebody that you align with better, great. But I'm telling you right now, these guys are on point. One of the things they brought up, the injuries that are currently being dealt with by Green Bay. Matthew Golden is not on that list. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger on Matthew Golden. Now, Juwan Jeans, Cam Scatterboo gone, David Njoku, uh, Mbuka. I would have loved to have had Mbuka on my squad. Jaden Reed, Josh Downs, another guy that I'm really, really high on. So let's go ahead and see tight end. I really don't want to be stuck making this choice right now or making this choice later. So I'll go ahead. Ooh, okay. I'm seeing a guy that I'm really, really high on, guys. And with it being PPR, and this is gonna be rough. I tell you what, I'm looking possibly right here at Jaden Higgins. However, I told you guys I want to take chances. I want to take a shot. And the shot that I'm going to be taking here, Jordan Mason. Look, we saw how hot Jordan Mason was last year in relief of Christian McCaffrey. Go ahead and take it. Now, did lose out on Tyler Warren and the quarterback I was looking at, Brock Purdy. And let's see. So we had a run right here. Janu, Loveland, Kincaid, Kraft, Pitts. And this is probably going to happen in your league, guys. It's going to get later. You see Tyler Warren got taken here. Um, and that probably triggered a whole lot of this right here, starting with Janu, ending with Kyle Pitts. Um, Tight ends left. Okay, I see one I can take that a lot of people are expecting a breakout, and I can't blame them. So let's go ahead. Now, the rest of these running backs, I am definitely not big on. So let's check out quarterback. So, quarterback right here in the 10th round, for me to be able to get a guy who definitely has a whole lot of targets and is being talked about to use his legs more. No, not CJ Stroud, even though the bounce back is being predicted for him. I'm talking about Jordan Love. So Jordan Love off the board for me. CJ Stroud follows that by Brandon Ayuk, Jake Ferguson, Michael Pittman, Caleb Williams, and Keon Coleman back to me at the 4 spot in round 11. So running back, wide receiver, Raheed Shaheed, wide receiver for New Orleans. See what we got at tight end. Now, here's what I want you guys to keep an eye on. I am the only one without a tight end. And I'll tell you right now, in your normally team 7 here, taking 2 tight ends back to back or in that close proximity probably isn't going to happen in your league. Also here, team 10 took TJ Hawkinson and then Jonnu Smith. Now, like I said, I don't want anybody in a Arthur Smith offense in that position. Like, I know I got DK, but he's the only wide receiver. I know that Jonnu is Arthur Smith's guy, but when you got Jonnu plus TJ Hawkinson, unless you're playing in a tight end premium super flex type league where you can flex out a tight end, that's really not a smart move. And then here we got Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts. Now, this is a 1 QB league, so I'm not sweating it that much. I can pick up somebody to plug in for Jordan Love on his bye week. I'm not worried about that. Um, check out wide receiver here. Trey Harris with the signing of Keenan Allen back to the Chargers. Not really something that I'm willing to take a chance on there. Rashad Bateman, not really. Now, Kyle Williams is an interesting pick. He's a rookie wide receiver with New England. Guy I'm really high on. So, and I'm pretty set on running back. Not really anybody here that I'm looking at now. Jaden Blue, guys, I know he's with Dallas. I know I'm wearing this and I got this behind me, but if you're trying to take a shot late rounds, we're in the double digits, and you want to take a shot at a running back, he is definitely the guy that I'm definitely trying to take a shot on. So let's check out wide receiver real quick. Go down the list a little bit, and we'll go ahead and we'll pull the trigger on Kyle Williams. Now, trying to play this game again, and let's see if it works out. Did not. Drake May gone. I was going to try to pull the trigger on Drake May. So let's check quarterback. So we got the rookie Cam Ward, we got Trevor Lawrence, Michael Penix Jr., and Bryce Young. Um, as a backup, any of these guys would be great to have. If you believe in what Liam Cohen did in Tampa with Baker last year, then you got to believe in Trevor Lawrence. Cam Ward, look, I got Tony Pollard. I could pair him up. Could be something special. Bryce Young. I liked what I saw from him after the benching, came back, responded well, and Michael Penix just absolutely balled out at the end of last season. So right now, any of these guys would be a great backup. Now, this is the thing that you got to remember about doing mock drafts against the computer is that they're going to do some crazy things. Right here, you got Team 11 going Dak Prescott and then Drake May. And then you've got Brock Purdy after you've already got Jalen Hurts. Like, I don't get it. And then double tap here for Team 6 with Kyle Pitts and Dallas Goedert. Definitely head scratchers and probably stuff that's not going to happen in your league. But you guys know your league better than I do. So take that for what it's worth. So take a look at running backs since a couple of them went off the board. Ramondre Stevenson, Najee Harris, Nick Chubb, take Bigsby, Jaden Blue left, Tashi Spears, who's currently injured. Austin Eckler is a really interesting pick this late. I like that. Isaac Rendo used to be a late round target for me, but I'm trying to track his injury. He's dealing with some stuff. Um, let's look at the overall. Okay, so here's a strategy that you guys might want to employ later on in your late in your drafts, like we are here. We've got a couple of rounds left. I'm gonna go ahead and pull trigger on Adam Thielen. Yes, I know he's an older player, but a lot of your older players are going to be hot early. It's real easy for them to get ramped up early in the season, but fade over time. Now, he does have T-Mac, Travion McMillan with him in Carolina, but he was Bryce Young's boy. So having that there and being on a team with the worst defense in the league. These guys were historically bad last year. And Brenton Strange was a tight end that I was eyeing. So let's go ahead and let's pull the trigger on the guy. And we're just going to take a shot on here because this is a mock draft. I kind of punted the position um, all the way down next to last round here. Elijah Aurora with Seattle, with um, having Sam Darnold in Seattle, probably going to be his best friend as a tight end to get him out of a jam. And we see Bryce Young gone last round. Trevor Lawrence next to the last round. Now, a lot of these guys, you what you're looking for is upside. So, what is the upside for a lot of these guys? So, let's see. Now, if you guys want to take a backup quarterback, go for it. It's something that I do recommend, and I will tell you right now that my personal draft board, um, one, I'm probably not going to get the 4 spot because that's usually where the champ picks from either fourth or fifth. Um, that's where they select. In our league, being the champ means you get to pick where you're picking from. And my boy D Money has not said where he's picking from just yet. Um, so backup quarterback, you're looking at Michael Penix Jr., you're looking at Matt Stafford, Tua, Shador, but Shador is currently dealing with injuries. And then you've got Aaron Rodgers, Sam Darnold, Anthony Richardson is somebody who, look, if you're swinging for the fences, now up here, I got Jordan Love. Jordan Love's great. Michael Penix could be something special. Um, but let's just double check and make sure that I'm not missing anybody. Okay, here's a late round gem for you guys to pick in maybe your last round, next to last round is Jalen McMillan, wide receiver with Tampa Bay. Now, everybody is gaga over Mbuka, um, and that's who they're wanting. But at the end of the season, it could be Jalen McMillan and Mbuka instead of Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. So keep that in mind when you're trying to look this late, you're swinging for the fences, guys. So, all right. So, I'll tell you what, let me read off my team real quick, guys. So, my team consists of Jahmyr Gibbs, Bucky Irving, Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf, Xavier Worthy, Jalen Waddle, Tony Pollard, uh, Michael Golden, Jordan Mason at quarterback, Jordan Love, then Kyle Williams, Adam Thielen, Eric Rojo, or I'm sorry, Elijah Rojo, and Jalen McMillan with the last pick. So there's a look at one strategy that you can employ when you do your mock drafts. Now, I do encourage you, and I'm going to do my best to try to get another one of my league mates on or somebody that I trust to do an episode with me to where you can see a couple of different scenarios. I try to make it a point not to draft with guys that I currently have not drafted a team yet. Learn that lesson the hard way. So, um, but yeah, so I just try not to do that. D-Money just sniped too many guys for me when we did mock drafts together. But I will do another mock draft episode and we'll do a little farther down to where a lot of first round decisions are going to be made for you, but your second round decisions are all your own and you are going to set the tone for the remainder of that round. But that's the thing about a snake is that you're going to have to wait for that snake draft to come back around to see what you're going to get. So, but guys, this is part of the process that you're going to have to commit yourself to, just like I was talking about at the top of the show, where you have to commit yourself to the process to get you closer to God. You want to get closer to that title, you want to get closer to that championship for fantasy football. It's easy for us to commit to things that we're passionate about. It's easy to commit to things that we're excited about. What's not easy is when we have to deny ourselves as Christ tells us to. We have to deny self and go after what he has already set a picture for us to aspire for. So keep that in mind as you move throughout your day. I want you to remember, what would Christ do? And I know it's cliche, I know it's like wristband type stuff. What would Jesus do? But seriously, what would he do? What does he ask of us? He asks that we take up our cross daily and follow him. So when you get up in the morning, take a second, praise the Lord, thank Him for waking you up, thank Him for the opportunities that lie ahead of you and the position that He's put you in to further His kingdom. Because remember, guys, we're not working for ourselves, we're working for the kingdom of God. We're doing this for God. You got a bad day at work, don't worry about it. It's fine. You're doing this for the Lord, not for man. So hopefully a couple things for you guys to carry with you. And remember, we're back here Thursday. This is our Tuesday episode. We're back here Thursday for another episode of Faith in Football. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, down the bottom, hit me up. I'd love to get some suggestions and just let me know what you're struggling with. Hit me up, let me know down the bottom. And if you haven't already, subscribe, like, and share to those who are maybe searching for something different in the fantasy football community. Till next time, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. My name is Neil, and remember, football is good, but God is greater. We'll see you guys next time on Faith in Football.